I feel like I've had a lot of luck in my life. And for me, luck comes in different ways. There's do-it-yourself luck. You know, that's when preparation meets opportunity. And that's how I got my first job out of college as a chef on a schooner. And then there's the dumb luck. That's when I was on that schooner and I neglected to tell anybody I was going to go swimming, so nobody was spotting me, nor the shark that was coming my way. Now, I don't know if that's dumb luck or luck of a dumb person, but either way, when I was that age, when I was just coming out of college, there's only one thing I knew about my life. I never wanted to regret that I hadn't tried an experience that I wanted to try. And I wanted to try a lot of things, and I didn't care if I failed, because it was still a success because I tried. And on my epitaph, it's going to say, and you're going to hear it if you ever walk by, hey, at least I tried. I mean, that's my motto. And the thing I wanted to try was I wanted to be a chef on a schooner, on a big sailing vessel. You know, I could imagine myself on the bow, you know, sails up, wind on my face, hair flowing. You know, it was a dream. And it could also be a nightmare because I had absolutely no business thinking that I belonged on a schooner. I did not know how to sail. I had never been on a boat or a ship, and I had no idea if I got seasick. I do get seasick. But I could bake and I could cook. I went to the hotel school, so I had that going for me. And so it was December 1977. Please don't do the math. Was I born, were my parents born? I don't care. Anyway, I went and I got the Sunday New York Times travel section. And I wrote down all the tall ships that advertised for weekly cruises. And on a typewriter, I personally made these letters to all the captains, hoping that I would get an interview. And I got lucky. I got one interview. Eben Whitcomb II, and he was an old-time Mainer that had this very droll, dry sense of humor. Old and droll, my kind of guy. Not you, sweetheart. Anyway, we had an interview, and at the end of the interview, he sounded very serious, and he said, "Do you put fruit flies in your fruit cake?" And I said, "Only if they're fresh." And I got the job. And before you know it, there I am. I'm going to be the chef on a schooner in the Virgin Islands. I know, very exciting, very exciting. And I was going to cook for 30 people, 3 meals a day. 6 crew, I knew nothing. 6 crew, and the rest of the people were going to be weekly vacationers that were paying to be volunteer deckhands. And I just loved it. I would go ahead and I would just cook my heart out. Now this was a 125-foot windjammer, all right, so double-masted. I mean, it was. Eben Whitcomb had this design to resemble the 1800s, the schooners of the 1800s. Unfortunately, the galley kitchen was also designed to resemble the 1800s. And there were no gimbals in the galley, which means that if the ship is going to tilt, the whole ship tilts, including the kitchen. Gimbals keep it level. So what would happen is that when somebody would yell down below, "Coming about," I knew that things were going to fly, big things, hot things, sharp things, unless I battened them down, because it would be about a 20% tilt. And that I would often be baking during this time. And the cakes were a disaster, but they were delicious. And people really appreciated what I did. I mean, I felt like a champion chef. Now, besides the gimbal, someone's so sweet over here going, anyway, so in the galley, there was this huge oven. I called her Big Bertha. And she was a diesel-fueled oven. And in order to light her, you had to dip paper towel into the diesel fuel, turn the oven on, light the paper towel, open the oven door, throw the flame into the belly of the beast, and shut the door. And Big Bertha would let you know when she was ready because she let out this bulge. I mean, it would almost be like, "Come to mama." And when we would be anchored in the Caribbean, and there would be this clear, beautiful blue water. You know where I'm going. And I love to swim, and I'm swimming, and I'm in my zone. And all of a sudden, the captain speeds up in a dinghy and says, "Get in." and I look up and I look at the ship, and everybody on board is over the railing, riveted, because between me and the ship, there is a shark coming my way. Now, they had seen Jaws. I had seen Jaws, the movie. I am in the movie Jaws, for real. And now nobody is yelling cut, right? And so I'm saved, everything's fine. I am told that if a shark attacks you, just punch it in the nose. You go punch a shark in the nose. For me, I was done swimming in the ocean. It's a jungle under there. It really is. It was a great experience. And I felt that I did get a chance to go on that bow. Sails are up, wind is in my face, hair is flying back, and I was living my dream. And it was a springboard for how I wanted to live my life. Well, 30 years later, my husband Dave surprises me and brings me back on the Harvey Gamage. And before I know it, I'm back being chef for a week. Only this time, the tourists are 25 high schoolers on the different islands off the coast of Maine. And I decide that I'm going to make them, because they don't have McDonald's on these islands, so I'm going to make them an Egg McMuffin, my style. And the apex of my culinary career was when one young man yelled, "This food is so much better than the school cafeteria." When I look back at my 22-year-old self, wondering what my 70-year-old self would think, I can look back at my younger self and I can say, you done did good, but we're not done. Got lucky? Goddamn straight I did. Thank you.
What'd you get? A duck in water.
Because whatever she does, Barbara takes like a duck to water. From the Barbara Takes Like a Duck to Water collection from our proud sponsors, Hats Pajamas. Give it up for Barbara!